With breaking news tonight, a search underway right now for a missing swimmer at Lake Pleasant. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office says a 20-year-old man was last seen on an inflatable inner tube in the water near Castle Creek boat ramp. Good evening. Thanks for joining us at 12 News at 10. I'm Troy Hayden.
I'm Mark Curtis. Let's get you right to the scene as crews continue their search. 12 News journalist Gabriella Becerra is live at Lake Pleasant with the latest. Gabby.
Well, Mark, Troy, it's quiet out here, but still an active search going on. You can see behind me the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office has the boat ramp blocked off tonight with their patrol vehicles. And it's too dark to see the water now, but in the last few minutes or so, we saw one of the boats come back to shore and turn its lights off. So some new developments in the search there. Unclear if they will be ending, but we do know that they have been out here for several hours now. So I want to take you to some video from when we first arrived. According to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, the man was last seen about 50 yards from the shoreline near Castle Creek boat ramp, which is on the northwest side of the lake. He had been out here with a group of friends. The man had been floating on a round inflatable tube that appeared to have popped in the water. The tube floated to the shoreline, but the man was nowhere to be found. His friends called 911 around 6:40 this evening, saying he was last seen about 10 minutes prior, and were told they got the helicopter out here as fast as they could while it was still daylight and began searching. And a boat was out here soon after, mapping out the area for several hours. And we're told the search team also brought in an underwater robot that swept the bottom of the lake. But we're told without daylight, this search can be challenging.
It is very difficult to search. You have to remember, underneath the water there can be trees, brush, shrubbery, things of that nature. So we have to be very careful. And now the water is also low, so we have to be real careful because there's a lot of rocks as well.
We should do a story on that
today. So again, we're working to learn more about where the status of this search stands tonight. We're told that they were going to be out here searching as long as possible, but again, we know there are some challenges after the sun went down. So we'll be checking in with MCSO. Stay with 12 News. We'll share any updates we get on 12news.com. Live at Lake Pleasant, Gabriella Becerra, 12 News.
Gabby, thank you for the update on this. Today marked the beginning of the monsoon 2026 season, and Mother Nature did not waste any time getting things going. How about this? Prescott getting a nice round of not just rain, but hail this afternoon. 12 News weather watcher Michelle sending us this video of the rain coming down hard outside her window at 2 p.m. today.
We also saw a little bit of rain further south. This is from El Mirage just before 5 o'clock. It's actually coming down pretty good right there. Not bad for day one of the monsoon. Meteorologist Lindsay Riley is here now with our weather impact forecast. Linz, any rain left out there?
There is not. Arizona is now dry. We did have an active radar for much of the afternoon. The storms that hit the valley actually originated up in Prescott at the lunch hour and came all the way down into the valley. The West Valley fared better than the East Valley today. But as you can see here, the radar now clear at 10:04 in the evening. Now, dew points have also come down because this afternoon, Phoenix had a dew point that was in the 50s. Now, further south, Gila Bend, Casa Grande, and Yuma still in the 60s. So very muggy just to the south of the valley. We're going to wake up to a very warm start. Tomorrow's going to be the hottest day of the week and fewer storms on the radar tomorrow. So the valley can expect a dry, hot day. We're already going to be at 90 degrees at 7 a.m. and going up from there. So hitting 100 by about 11 a.m. and continuing to rise. If we do hit 111, it'll be the hottest day of the week, but also the hottest day of the year so far. Full sunshine expected. We'll talk more about temperature trends as well as some additional storms for parts of the high country in my full forecast. Mark?
All right, Linz, thanks. Volunteers are getting ready to launch a new search for Nancy Guthrie. The mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie has been missing for more than 5 months. The search is set to begin tomorrow near the border in Nogales. This new search effort comes after an anonymous tip was sent into a search collective in Mexico, claiming that Guthrie's remains may be buried in that area. The group says it's already worked with local authorities to search nearby creeks and look for any signs of disturbed soil. So far, nothing has been found.
Tonight we're learning more about two men, including a 30-year sheriff's deputy who died in a domestic violence incident in Surprise over the weekend. 12 News journalist Maria Stobbs is in the studio now, and what did we learn tonight, Maria?
Well, Troy, we've since learned that the man police say was killed by his son was a retired Maricopa County sheriff's deputy. He's the same deputy who survived being shot in the line of duty more than a decade ago.
Garcia, 29-year veteran, was shot.
So we're just praying that he can pull out of it.
I'm here just to make sure he's okay.
Retired Maricopa County Sheriff's Deputy Ruben Garcia sat down with 12 News in 2016 to talk about the shooting that changed his life forever.
Right now, everything's a struggle. Before it was automatic, I could just walk straight. But now I got to concentrate, think about, basically what steps I'm going to take.
3 years earlier, Garcia was on patrol when he stopped a driver outside a Peoria gas station who had reportedly been involved in a domestic argument. Then, without warning,
He shot me in the face, and as I was falling, he shot me in the back.
Garcia spent days fighting for his life. The physical and emotional recovery lasted even longer.
They had to reconstruct it, and like I said, right now, it just feels artificial. I look in the mirror and I look okay. I look normal, but underneath, it's a mask. It's like a cold mask.
Despite those injuries, Garcia returned to law enforcement before retiring in 2015 after a 29-year career. Now, more than a decade later, those who know him are mourning another tragedy. One police say unfolded inside his Surprise home near Reams and Greenway Roads.
An adult man and his father were involved in an argument inside a home, and multiple shots were fired.
Police say 37-year-old Brandon Garcia shot and killed his father, 63-year-old Ruben Garcia, Saturday night.
Domestic violence doesn't know a zip code, and it can happen to anywhere, to anybody.
When officers arrived, police say an officer shot and killed Brandon Garcia. It's unclear what led up to the police shooting. Maricopa County Sheriff Jerry Sheridan called Garcia's passing a tragedy. The agency telling 12 News he's leaving behind a legacy of courage, resilience, and commitment to public service. The announcement sparked an outpouring of memories and condolences online. One former colleague writing, "I only worked with you once, Ruben. I remember how kind you were to a rookie deputy." The domestic violence incident between Garcia and his son is still under investigation, as is the police shooting. Anyone who is a victim of domestic violence is urged to reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline by calling 1-800-799-SAFE. We're live in studio, Maria Stobbs, 12 News.
Maria, surviving that first shooting, but not the second at the hands of his son. Thank you for that. New tonight, 10 people behind bars after a multi-agency operation arresting suspects of child exploitation. Now, this happened back on June 5th and 6th. Federal, state, and local authorities honing in on people who were allegedly setting up meetings with minors online. 10 people now facing a slew of felony charges tied to these sex crimes. Apache Junction police say these types of operations are becoming more and more common.
It's not just Apache Junction. This is a situation that's around the United States, and law enforcement is doing everything we can to take proactive measures to let people know to stop this activity.
Police have not yet released the names of the suspects they arrested. Their bond set at $350,000.
This month marks 14 years since the creation of DACA, also known as Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. It's given hundreds of thousands of young immigrants the chance to work, study, and build a better life here, legally. But now the program is facing challenges. Ongoing court battles have frozen new DACA applications, leaving about 100,000 dreamers in legal limbo. And recipients say their renewals, which used to take only weeks, are now taking months to process. In Arizona, the nonprofit organization Aliento is standing by those dreamers who are facing legal battles.
I applied for DACA back in 2012, so I've been protected by the program for 14 years. That it really opened up a lot of opportunities, and it also enabled me and empowered me to found the nonprofit organization that I work at now, Aliento. Aliento is a word in Spanish that translates into breath, but when you give aliento to someone, it's like giving words of encouragement.
The founder of Aliento, who you just heard from, adds that her message for this year's anniversary is pretty simple. Protect a program that's already changed thousands of lives, and the family's still counting on it.